Hey, Front Row Promotions. Welcome to everyone in the house. We have Ryder. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Good. Good. Thanks for having us.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, do that. Good. Thank you. Yeah, wiggle your fingies.
All righty.
I'm surprised you have room to wiggle with like. I know, really. If I stretch out,
you wanna
keep your wiggling to yourself, guys. Keep your wiggling to yourself.
Don't wiggle behind me.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna wiggle behind your back. Wiggle.
So tell us what you've been up to, what's going on, and just tell us something about Ryder.
Well, allow me to introduce some of the new guys. Over to my left, probably your right, Mr. Nick Bavaro, who is our drummer. Over right next, well, technically next to me, somewhat next to me, on the bass guitar, Mr. Rod Viquez. And over here, hiding from everyone, Mr. Max Knight on the guitar. And I'm James. You might not recognize me. I grew my hair out. So
yeah, you look so different. Yes. I like it, though. It looks good.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Front Row Promotions. And so we just wanted to know, me, because I'm used to saying we, because, with Kandi, but she can't be here tonight. But what got you guys into music?
So, I've basically been into music my entire life. My family, my parents, they got me my first drum set when I was 3 years old. My little first stack drum set.
Nice.
I used to just, one really kind of, I guess, core moment that kind of sticks out to me is I went to a 4th of July party, and there was just this band there, and I don't know, something about them. I just kind of gravitated around that area the entire 5 hours of the party, and just kind of watched them, and stood at the drum set, and they let me sit at the drum set, and they let me hold the microphone and sing with them. So I guess kind of just seeing how involved music can be, and from such a young age, and I guess thanks to my parents too, that's I guess really what got me into it. What about you, Max?
All right. It's hard for me to give a short answer, so I'll try to be as short as I can. But I know the exact incident, time period that got me into playing. At least I was into music obviously very early. I think we all were. But in terms of playing the guitar, I was about 12 years old, and I had I didn't play, but my older brother had gotten a guitar when he was a lot younger. As a gift, and just encouraged to learn. And he never learned, like most people, just kept it in the closet. But I was starting to get into Hendrix and Van Halen and things like that at that age. So I was like, damn, I want to, like most people, it's not too uncommon to say, I want to do that. I want to be like that. I want to play. And it just looked so cool and sounded so cool. So I just I try to take a shortcut and film myself miming, playing, the track behind me, just to impress my friends. And they all bought it, and they were all like, oh my God, I didn't know you played. It's so cool. And then there was one kid, one jerk who ended up doing me the biggest favor ever, but he called me out on it, and he realized no, he's not really playing. So he embarrassed me, and everybody was called me a phony and all that. So it was that moment, long story short, that I was like, all right, I'm going to prove all these people wrong, and I'm actually going to try to learn. And from that day on, I just picked it up. Funny enough, the guitar had one string on it, which probably gave it away too. But
shoot.
yeah, so I was just learning root notes and stuff, and then I ended up getting developed a little bit of an ear for it, and then got strings and had them put on, and then just spent every day since I was 12 years old working my ass off to learn and to self-taught, and just kept going. It's 21 years later, and here we are.
And that was just his audition for Ryder.
That was it, yeah. That's right.
Oh, I see. It's awesome.
Yeah, but that's what got me into it.
That's
And
so
with me,
cool.
it was, my family was really into music. I started playing horns when I was young, and when I was 13, I heard Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, and well, that kind of switched me over to bass. And I started playing bass because everybody was playing guitar, and every band needed a bass player.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I
Yeah.
love it.
And I'm boring. I was a Disney kid when I grew up. Fantasia was my favorite movie. That's how I really got, brought into music. And I just, I played tenor saxophone in a jazz band in school for a few years, and then I picked up the guitar and never looked back. And then I got fed up of auditioning singers, so then I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start singing." And here I
There
am.
you go. That's perfect. And I definitely love your music. You have a good style, very creative. Awesome. Yes. I always wanted to do something with music, but I think I found what I'm doing. I don't think say that.
You are doing something with music.
Yes, I'm promoting it, and I love doing that. Yes, that's my thing. That's my niche. So if I don't have the ability to sing or play guitar, I haven't really physically tried, but I just kind of like, I think I feel better doing this, hearing what you guys do and bringing it to the surface of having everybody to see what you guys do in your talent and hearing all about it. That's what I like to do. So, do you have any shows coming up?
We do. This upcoming Wednesday, we are playing at Katie's in Smithtown, New York. We are the featured band for Equilibrium Bookings Wednesday night, acoustic night. So we're going to be doing about a 15-minute set. It's a free
Awesome.
show. So anyone in the Long Island, New York area, come on down and check us out. Let us know how we're doing.
Awesome.
That's going to be
Awesome.
awesome. And that's all building up to April 13th at the Shillelagh Tavern in our hometown of Queens, New York, where we will be doing a full acoustic set, new material, old material, some cover songs, but a lot of new material. A lot.
Nice. Very, very cool. If
We've been
only I
staying
could
busy.
get to New York City. I
A lot of
could
writing.
get
A lot of writing.
yes.
When I walked into this band, one of the things I loved was just the style and the hard edge, and that's my cup of tea. But then, we all got together and talked and jumping back in and doing acoustic and starting with acoustic kind of, but it's great. It's been great. And giving an acoustic spin to some of the, the Ryder staples from the past and as well as new material. And it's really good because it's going to, I think, show off a different side to established followers and fans already, but also appeal to maybe people who are more into that softer side of music. So we're expressing ourselves from a different point of view, but also engaging hopefully a whole new audience, which is exciting.
That's amazing. So cool. So, what's that feeling like being out there on stage and, and you have the crowd singing along to your music? What kind of feeling is that when you're up there and you see that happening?
It's fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's what drives you. I mean, it helps push you through, and you already have to be amped to be on stage, and then hearing that response and feeding off of that energy just like takes you from here to here, and it's just even higher, even here.
That's
Awesome.
so cool.
But
Makes your adrenaline rush even higher and higher since you're already adrenalized, to be out there. And then you see that and it just gives you that, the extra super high.
Oh yeah, no, like literally what goes through my head when I see that, I'm like, oh fuck, we're gonna have even extra fun.
Nice.
Best drug in the world.
Awesome. Very,
Yeah.
very cool. Now, who are your inspiration? Like who inspires you?
So many people.
Yes.
I would say it's a combination of a few different drummers. Probably starting with my favorite is probably Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Awesome.
And then also really love Neil Peart from Rush, Travis Barker, Blink 182, and then Ringo Starr, just because he just really knows how to complement a song and knows when not to play, which is something that's really important in acoustic music, which is something like we've all been saying is something we're really focused on right now. So I really try and take a little bit from every single one of those drummers, maybe dialing back on the Travis Barker a little bit with some of the acoustic stuff, but we'll reapproach that in a couple of weeks when we start practicing for electric stuff.
Awesome.
For me, like I mentioned before, it started early on with like Hendrix and Van Halen, but growing up as a Yankee fan, every time Mariano Rivera would come out to Enter Sandman, I was like, what the hell is this? It was just so cool, and it just totally like stuck out beyond anything happening on the TV. It was, and I got hooked, and then I grew to love that. I was hooked, and then I went to their back catalog. So Metallica, hands down, one of my biggest influences. James Hetfield's one of my biggest influences, and then it was Sabbath all the way, Sabbath and Zeppelin. And I mean, without Sabbath, I don't even know if half the bands that I love would be around. But to this day, Sabbath's music holds up. Still heavy, even things that are 50 years old, still heavier than half the shit I listen to that comes out now. So, I would say Pink Floyd is one of my favorite bands of all time, and David Gilmour is one of my biggest influences and idols. Jimmy Page, Randy Rhoads, all that kind of stuff. So that's for me, probably, I would say.
That's amazing.
I love. I mentioned before, first time I put on Black Dog, I was hooked. I was like, I'm switching to bass. I want to play rock. And then I remember getting Iron Maiden Made in Japan EP. Oh yeah, I put it on the turntable. This is how primitive my stuff was. Put the EP on the turntable. I heard that first. I was like, this guy's got it.
That was the last one with Paul Deanna.
Yeah, that was the last one with Paul
That was the
Deanna.
one where Eddie was holding his hand.
Yes. And then I'm thinking more modern. Obviously Geezer, John Paul Jones, Ed Whistle. Modern, Frank Bello from Anthrax, who I consider to be one of the more underrated bass players out there. Dee Marini from Overkill, another really great crunch, really up in front kind of bass lines that you definitely can tell who it is. I like a lot of the European power metal. I also like a lot of stoner or psychedelics. So pretty open to a lot of other things too.
I like that. You get a variety of all the different kind of genres and just shake it up, put in a jar, shake it all up, and then voila. So explain the music that you create.
Oh, generally it's hard rock. It's really, really awesome. I mean, right now, the past few months, like we said before, we're doing a lot of acoustic stuff. So we're having a lot of fun, like taking older songs and like reworking them. So like adding a little bit of a swing, making it a little more bluesy, a little more jazzy, like just really branching out from that, that hard rock genre. So it's been very, very interesting. I mean, for fuck's sake.
So what makes the difference between the live, like the acoustic and the band? What makes it different? I mean, I know it's not like not all of it's not all plugged into the electric. I don't know if you can explain that to me.
So essentially, it's basically a more stripped down version of what we're doing. There's not as much distortion, there's not as much things, covering up the guitars or covering up other stuff. I mean, drums are drums, so he's got a pretty good job. I mean, it's so you can't really add distortion to drums, but I mean, unless you're like Rammstein or something. But but yeah, no, it's just like we don't have it. It's very live without a net, very stripped down, just basic, tonal sounds. And, it's
nowhere to hide.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide.
There's a big focus on vocals in acoustic.
Yes.
when we're doing electric, it's a lot of like power vocals, like what do we call it? Is it gang vocals?
Gang vocals.
Gang vocals.
Yeah.
Screaming, like you know, just like just guys being dudes on the microphones. But like when it's stripped down with acoustic, it's like they said, there's no hiding. We actually have to sit there and practice without playing our instruments and just singing. And it's scary and it's vulnerable and it's uncomfortable, but it's something that we're all comfortable with doing around each other. So that's what makes it work.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
There's a lot of space in our sound currently as we rehearse for these acoustic shows. There's a lot of space, and what I mean by that is, you know, when everybody has a wall of distortion, or in our case, you and I, you know, have these heavy sounds. I mean, yeah, we're still playing naturally. It's still real. It's raw, but the distortion kind of like, you know, the notes and the nuances of every little note are hidden behind this wall of distortion. And when you're playing acoustic, I mean, you hear every string ring out. You can, by the same token, you can also hear every little mistake if there is one. So it's as raw can be. And also, I mean, some of the new ideas we've been toying around with, we all come from very similar worlds, but also in some ways very different. So the new material we're messing around with is just a combination of everything blended into one. And and to answer your question, how is it different? Some of the stuff I would say can be played on electric, but there's ideas we've been coming up with that we probably wouldn't have thought of if we were practicing on electric.
Yeah.
You know, so it's bringing out a different side to us as well.
Oh yeah, there are some songs that are gonna, you know, that you might hear once we start playing electric, and there might be some songs that are just acoustic exclusive.
Or songs you might not recognize because they're so different between acoustic and electric.
And with me, what's interesting with this is not only am I doing acoustic for the first time, I'm also in an original band for the first time in a long time. And you're working with new people, and there's a certain amount of vulnerability. I've just started working on a song, and you know the lyrics are extremely, like come from like the darkest, most painful experience of my life. And you know, you're exposing that to people, and you're hoping people that you've never heard, seen, or met, or don't know anything about you are going to hear this and feel some kind of emotional connection to it. And you know, that takes a certain amount of leap of faith too, and a certain amount of trust in your abilities that everybody in this band has.
Right. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Now, when you do the writing for your songs, do you all write together, or is it one particular person? And can you describe the writing process?
We all do it together. We come together. Either one of us has a riff, or one of us has a beat, or one of us has a bass line, and then we just, you know, it's like Legos. We just keep building and building and building, and if we don't like it, then we knock it the fuck over and start again.
A lot of trial and error.
That. Yes.
So some ideas just come from a jam when we're just screwing around.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
You know, and it's all improvisation, and that's I think some of the best songs are written that way. You know, because it's natural. You know, it's from the heart. It's real, which is like you know, rare these days. So
I think my favorite part of the writing part of it is like, because we're focusing very heavily currently on acoustic stuff, we're just the mindset, seeing everybody's different mindset from where they're coming from for how they want to write a song. Like, for example, I came up with the drum beat with the idea of an electric song in mind, but Max and James had some acoustic riffs that they had in mind that we're working on. So it's like, it's very cool to see how everybody differs, but then how that collaborative effort comes together into one cohesive and you know, awesome sound, in my opinion. I like it.
Yes.
So moral of the story, come and see us live. Buy the tickets. Buy the tickets.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Just a little sneak peek next week.
Well, sneak peek next week, and then, you know,
Post it then next month.
The first hit's free. The second hit, you got to pay.
Fair deal.
Now, how much are your tickets? How much do they go for? And where
Oh,
can you
they're
get them?
easy. It's we're a cheap date. It's $10.
Well, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I like that. Yes.
We're a band of the people.
We are a band of the people. $10.
Awesome.
You,
Now,
you
do you
can't even
have?
get, you
Go
can't
ahead.
even get a Big Mac meal
No.
at
No.
McDonald's.
Actually, you can't.
Actually, can't. You know, $11.89 plus tax.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Crazy
Yes.
talk.
So I was just talking about that. Support the venues, support the music, and the bands, because without you guys, without everybody coming out to see you, where would you be? You need that support. So get out there and see Ryder, everybody. Yes, get out there and see this band. Now you have some questions lining up on the board, so I'm going to post the first one coming in.
Oh, nice.
And this is from Teresa, Rebel Heart Entertainment. Hi guys, how are you this evening? I have a question. What do you think sets you apart from other bands?
Well, I mean, definitely Nick. I mean, look at this face. I mean,
I think I could answer that honestly.
go for it.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe we have 3 different generations represented in this band. Unfortunately, I identify as Gen Z because of my age. I just missed that cutoff of millennial and Gen Z.
Oh,
But we got Gen Z, millennial, and
Gen X.
Gen
I'm
X,
the old man of the band.
which I think is also really cool because, like I said, we all come from similar places, but all come from different backgrounds, and I don't want to age these guys or age myself, but different times, and it reflects in our music, and again, it all comes together in such a cool collaborative way that I think is so freaking cool.
And the weird thing is, at the same time, we all have common influences and common artists that we all like, even though we grew up at different time periods. So it shows the timelessness of the people that we're inspired. So yeah, the way I look at it, it's like 3 different interpretations of a similar style era.
Absolutely.
And similar styles of music that could lead to some really interesting things. And the maturity level actually for everybody's been great. Nobody's been angry over, nobody's getting butthurt, nobody's saying it's my way or the highway, or nobody's like, I gave him some lyrics for my song, and James changed them around to something he thought was better, might be a little more general. And I say, that's a really good idea. I didn't get my ego hurt because a couple words got changed. So that's part of being a grown up, and part of being a professional.
Just flip it around, and it's all good. Yeah.
What's good for the band and what's good for the people that are interested in the band is more important than my personal ego.
Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect.
There's no I in team, as cliche as that is.
Another thing that probably sets us apart, well, definitely sets us apart, is this band is a combination of us 4. Just like any other band is a combination of whoever's in that other band. And so as we're improvising and doing a jam and just making shit up on the spot, at that very moment, there's nobody else that's coming up with that idea at that same time. So
it's true.
We're going to be different. It's a different cocktail of people. So it's nobody like it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like your answers. Very cool.
Thanks for the question. That's a great question.
That is. Thank you, Teresa.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look too close. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, see.
Who's the main songwriter in the band? Well, I think we covered that, but anyway. Or do you all collaborate together? So you all collaborate together.
Yeah.
And I think what's also great is we also take arranging really, really serious. Somebody like Ronnie Dio was such a great arranger. Those little tiny changes that, unless you're really breaking the song down and listening or playing it, it's very easy to overlook those things. Absolutely. And my attitude, if somebody doesn't have a part that they wrote, it doesn't mean that they can't contribute, because their arranging ideas for a song may be the thing that turns it from an idea that we throw in the garbage to a song that people actually like, we enjoy playing.
Yeah.
That's true.
And with arranging too, it's like you said, we take it so seriously and we're so meticulous with it. And I don't have a guitar in front of me, and I know notes, but I can't. It's so much easier for me to just sing what's in my head and to be able to play with people who can just kind of play what I'm singing back to me, and it just be like, yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's also really cool, and you wouldn't be able to do that writing by yourself. So that's something that's a lot of fun, being able to write together with these guys.
I think last week we spent like a half an hour on one part that was just like a short transition. It's just a short transition from like a chorus to a solo.
Don't ask me how to play it. I don't know.
But we got it. I hope we remember it.
I couldn't tell you how to play it, but it sounds really freaking cool.
Thank God we recorded.
There you
Thank God we recorded. Thank God for cell phones.
Awesome.
Thanks
Very
for that
cool.
question.
Thanks, Rebel Heart.
Yep. And now we have okay, the Facebook. I don't know, lately they just haven't been blending well with StreamYard. I don't know what's going on, but something, and it says it's going to start soon. So I'm glad you're all on. You're still live and you're on YouTube. So it's coming through YouTube.
Thanks
so yeah,
thanks
Raven,
for
thank you. Yes.
So let's
We have
that
another-
question. Yeah.
Let's see. What kind of mix of old, new, and covers do you play on playing at the April show? What kind of mix of old and new? Yeah.
I mean, I could give it. We could give it away for you, but I mean, you got to buy a ticket and find out. I mean, I can't.
Just come to the show.
All right. I'll give you guys one. I'll give you one. I'll give you an old one.
We should give the decade. It goes from 70s to 90s. That's it.
I love it.
I'll say one thing as far as one of the older songs. As you know, the last time we were on, the last time I was on, technically your show, we did, I believe it was Lillin's Lullaby acoustic. So we have never, as a band, played that acoustic version live before. So here's your exclusive. We are playing Lillin's Lullaby acoustic live, as it should be. We do have a violin player that will be joining us for that song. So yeah, we're doing it right. So there's your tidbit. $10, April 13th, Shillelagh Tavern, Astoria, New York. Come and see us.
Be there
Come and
or
see.
be square.
Yeah. Awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, and then DreamWork or Dream Raven. I would say DreamWorks.
Dream Raven.
We'll see you there, Dream.
Yeah, Dream Raven. Nothing wrong with John X. We rock.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be the great. Somebody's got to be the adult.
There you go.
I got to kind of keep people just like keep everything going.
It keeps us young, honestly. I find myself being like, did Rod really just say that? A lot.
Yes.
I'm
I
just
like no filter.
So cool. You guys are so cool. So what do you guys do to prepare for a show? Is there any preparation, or do you do a certain practice? Do you practice like a little bit beforehand, or do you eat certain things or drink? Or
I need a beer and a shot in there.
Yes. Me too.
I do not.
I do need a shot. I love to take a band shot collectively. I know some people are hashtag straight edge in this band, but for those who are not, they can take OJ.
I'll be right there with you, pal.
So I take a shot of, and then I need to have a beer with me throughout the set.
Well, I don't drink it all before a gig.
So, but
after.
I'm not a big drinker. I might have like one beer after.
Afterwards is always good, right?
You can't be sloppy when you're playing. It's just something to take the chill off, just to relax the nerves. Not that I get nervous. I've been doing this for a pretty long time, but it's just tradition at this point.
In terms of like preparation, I mean, yeah, I mean just run through a set like the practice before. Run through a set. One whiskey, one shot, one beer. Hell yeah.
I love it.
We'll just run through the full set, for the show.
It has to be tequila.
I'm
I'm 100% Italian, but I love that.
Any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals? Actually, I do. I usually practice in the afternoon, run through the set once or twice, and I don't touch my bass till getting ready to go on stage and warm up for a couple minutes.
There you go.
I don't want to obsess too much. My attitude, if I don't know the set by the night of the gig, I'm not going to write it down. Don't stress it out. And I make sure everything's packed up early.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I double check everything so I don't forget things.
That's true. That's good. That's good.
That's always my big paranoid thing is I'm going to be an hour away from someplace and say, my God, I forgot it. Where's the local guitar center?
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yes.
Yeah, then I don't want to have to do it.
And even then, they probably don't have the exact
Exactly.
thing.
They're not going to have what they want. And if they have it, the person that works here it won't be able to tell me where it is because they don't know.
Yeah.
And everything's like $80 there. Like that's like the cheapest. It's like $80.
$89.99.
I just needed a pen.
And on my ride to the gig, I just listened to the heaviest shit cranked all the way up in the car to just, pump me up for the show. I do that every show. Every show.
I don't listen to any metal at all before a show. It's either classical music, sometimes it's Mexican music, sometimes it's trance, sometimes it's world music. It's just anything but what I'm going to be playing that night.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I listen to heavy stuff on the way and then classical on the way home. Yeah.
Shit,
Then I do some podcasts.
What
On
do
the
you
way
do?
home, I'll listen to a book on podcast.
I'm boring. I wake up in the morning and I just literally I do my thing. I'm a big TV and movie guy, so maybe I'll throw on some Family Guy, maybe I'll watch the Daily Show from the night before, catch up on some TV a little bit, just relax, hop in the shower, get ready, head to the studio, and throw on some music on the way there, just to kind of amp up, hype up, and do whatever, and get through the set. And then after the set, just
Eat.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You have to have that afterwards. Go to a diner, or just
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be
love diner food. Oh my God, yes, that's awesome.
Plenty around Smithtown.
Plenty of diners and plenty of Cracker Barrels or wherever the hell we are.
Oh yes, Cracker Barrel. Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Nothing better than a diner at 3 o'clock in the morning.
What's your favorite food?
Dude, when we get a Baltimore gig, we gotta hit one.
Oh God, yeah.
So, what do you like to eat after a show?
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yes.
Diner breakfast.
I'm a corned beef hash and eggs guy with some hash browns.
Yeah.
Side of bacon.
Hash browns.
I get a wrap
Absolutely.
of some sort. It's usually a chicken-based wrap. Chicken Caesar, barbecue chicken, buffalo chicken, California, like a grilled chicken avocado kind of vibe. Any kind of wrap. That's usually what I get. Something with fries. I'm a lunch kind of guy after a show.
Or the dreaded.
Awesome.
Or being from New Jersey, you can walk into any diner and get a cheeseburger deluxe. It's the exact same thing anywhere you go.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Shit, man.
Yeah, steak and eggs, actually. If I'm having breakfast, I want steak and eggs.
I'm hungry, man.
There you go. So, who was your first concert that you went to, when you were younger, as a teenager? Who did you
9
see
years old,
first?
Johnny Cash. I was 9 years old. I went to see Johnny Cash. My
Get
first
out.
concert,
Oh my God.
I was 13. I went to see UFO and Cheap Trick.
Oh.
Ah, Cheap Trick.
I'm gonna go a little old school here. Paul McCartney solo.
You saw Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So did I, yeah, but not my first. That was your first?
Awesome.
Very cool. Incredible.
So cool. So
Nick?
cool.
I don't even.
This is extremely embarrassing.
Jonas
But
Brothers.
no, that was one of my second. My very first concert was a Good Morning America set with featuring Hillary and Haley Duff.
Oh my God.
Oh,
They
okay. That's
just
so
in a
cool.
movie
That's not
or
bad.
something. I was like, I grew up with sisters. I'm the middle child in between two girls, and my mom. I was a mama's boy growing up. Who wasn't?
I
So,
wasn't.
not that I wasn't like, rocking out to Hillary Duff. I didn't, but yeah, that was my very first concert. I was gonna say maybe I could have skipped that and gone to my second. Maybe that was a little less embarrassing, but then it was like Miley Cyrus. So I'm just gonna stop because early on I was a teeny bopper Disney kid.
It just gets worse. So.
Yeah,
You were a high
Oh
school.
no.
I did go to a Zootopia. Like it was like a Z100. No, it was a Z100 music festival at like it was like a Jingle Ball type of thing.
See, we had Disney on Ice.
Well, I'm more in line with you, but my first concert was Judas Priest. I was like 13 or 14. And then after that, my second was also a Good Morning America, but it was U2 doing a Good Morning America at Fordham University, New York. Free show at like 8 a.m, but it was great.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up at like
Cool.
4.
My first concert was Alice Cooper.
Awesome.
In Bryant Park.
What was your first concert?
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
I've seen Alice Cooper. He's awesome.
What album?
Ada.
Hmm?
What
sorry,
album did you see him?
I was 12, so I remember him coming out with like a snake, and then he did the whole illusions with like he was going to chop his head off and the noose and all. I'm like, oh my God, because I grew up country and that was my first concert, and I'm like, what the? I think $1 Million Baby concert. I think it's
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
I'm like,
wild for a 12-year-old.
oh my God. I'm like, did they get hurt? I was like, oh my God. And my cousin Chucky says, no, it's just all an illusion. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I think I still have the tour book somewhere.
Awesome.
That would be nice to look back at. Yeah. So who would you guys like to collaborate with if you could? And have you already collaborated with someone? And would you like to do that again?
I think ask us again in a few months. We're still kind of getting things together in our own camp first. So once we get that situated, then we're very open to collaboration.
If you want to reach gold, the Chili Peppers. That'd be sick.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love them. I feel like we would vibe with them very well just because this guy's a psychopath, just like Flea.
Well, shoot.
John Kandi could talk about guitar stuff. Him and Ketis could harmonize the sweet vocalizations, and then, like I said, Chad's like one of my biggest inspirations. So I would just probably fangirl the entire time, just in awe.
Yeah.
But yeah. Plus, I feel like we jam a lot on our own music the same way they do. Like live, they don't play anything off the record exactly, which is something I don't think we do either.
So it makes it fun.
Because I've listened to some Ryder tracks, and I'm like, this is Ryder, because of the way we play it. It's very different now.
Yeah.
What would be the place that you would have to play? Like, I have to play here no matter what we do in our travels. This is the place I want to play. What would that place be?
I got this. I got this. I got this one. Madison Square Garden.
I hear that a lot. I'd like to see what that place looks like, because I hear when I ask that question, I get that answer.
The Barclays Center.
I'm a little
again?
spoiled. Go ahead.
I'll take the Barclays Center or the
Barclays Center. Okay.
over the Plymouth, the Prudential.
I'm a little spoiled. I got to play Madison Square Garden with my college band because I'm St. John's, Go Johnnies. I was in our the St. John's Pep Band, so our home stadium was Madison Square Garden, so I got to play the drums at Madison Square Garden a bunch.
Nice.
That was cool. It's still a dream to play there with my own band for
Yeah.
sure. But if I
Yeah.
had to pick a venue growing up, my dad took me to the Capitol Theater all the time in Port Chester, New York. I would love to play there. Pete Shapiro, do you hear me? If you're watching this, I would love to play at the Capitol Theater.
The cap is nice. The cap is
Thank you.
nice.
I just want to be one of those bands that ends up living in Las Vegas and the world, you're so popular that the world comes to you. You don't have to tour. You walk out of your bedroom, you go downstairs, open the door, you walk into the arena of the casino next door, and there's 20,000 people waiting for you. Perfect day.
Rod just wants to live in a casino, I think.
I used to be a casino dealer in Vegas.
Oh, that's cool.
It's funny, man.
But yeah,
For me, I would say for me, like in the U.S., a place I've always wanted to play is is Nashville. I would love to play Nashville. I've been there visiting, and the music scene is unlike anything else. It's insane.
Absolutely.
Every day of the week, it is packed with people and bands and music. It's unbelievable, and it's a great scene for original artists as well.
Yeah.
Out of the states, I would say Japan is on my bucket list. Yeah, I'd love to play in Japan. Yeah. I'll go straight to Tokyo. I don't care, man. I just want to play in Japan.
I'm like one or two.
Yeah.
I love to tour Europe. Love to tour Italy, Spain, Portugal, Scandinavia, Germany, England, all the place where, the metal scene is so different out there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So much different.
South America too.
Hey, O2 Arena is pretty nice too.
I'm going to jump to this question. Rebel Heart, Teresa, good question at this moment. Who is on your bucket list to play with?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I said that already on Chili Peppers for sure. That'd be a really
I knew
cool.
that was coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like Smashing Pumpkins would be cool too.
yeah. I mean, there's too many. I mean, I'd love in a perfect world if like Sabbath reunited again and we could open for Sabbath. That would be like obviously like a dream, but that would be
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah.
I don't know if our sounds are as close enough, but I'm a huge Strokes fan, so it would be really cool to vibe with them. They seem
Absolutely.
like really cool people.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So if you had someone come up to ask you to give some advice, if they were wanting to do what you're doing, like in the rock and roll world, and they just got in a band, what advice would you give them?
Worry about the business end as much as the playing end.
Okay.
Especially today where everything is your responsibility.
Yes.
There's an article with Nita Strauss, and she said today you cannot make it as a musician. You have to be a brand. You have to brand yourself.
Okay.
You have to be accessible. You have to be open. The egotistical rock star attitude, that's dead. That's gone. Be accessible. Be open. Be nice. Be professional. Because in today's social media world, if you have any notoriety, you are being watched 24/7. There is no private world anymore. And you really have to think. Everything I do as a band, everything that the guys in my band do, every way that we talk to people in clubs, deal with promoters, especially interacting with other bands, be a professional at all times. This is not high school. Keep the cafeteria stuff in elementary school where it belongs. I always looked at it this way. Amateurs compete against each other. Professionals collaborate with each other. So strive to be a professional. And if that means you only have 3 other bands that and you play gigs with, you're better off with that than a lot of people that are just going to drag you down.
Yes. Absolutely. I like that. Very good. Very good.
I think it's important to have a backup plan too. In this day and age, always have a backup plan. Have another source of income. It's just a reality. But be yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't try to be anything you're not. Phony shit, people can see right through it. And if you stay true to yourself, it'll resonate with people, I think. And don't take no shit from nobody, as Billy Joel used to say.
Yeah.
So
my advice is very simple: play to a metronome.
Yes.
Make sure you have a 4-year degree somewhere else.
You don't need a degree to play to a metronome. Play to a freaking metronome.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
Advice-wise, what I would tell people, I'd say the same thing. Do your homework. Study the business end. Study the music end. A lot of people sit there and say that, the music industry. It's not the music industry anymore. It's the entertainment industry. So
There you go.
It has been the music industry for a very, very long time. It's been a while, and you got to have your hands in everything. So be well-rounded, be open-minded. Just realize if you're saying no more than you're saying yes. Don't be surprised if people end up looking at someone else. Yeah.
That's true. The more you say no, somebody else is going to feel it. Yep. So, yeah. You got to pick and choose.
Ryder has a Japanese fan base.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Well, there you go. Looks like we're going to be going to Tokyo.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm ready to go yesterday.
Alrighty. How about let's ask some fun questions for a moment, and then we'll go back into more of your in-depth rock and roll stuff. So if you were on a hot tub time machine and you're going to set the dial, where would you go? Now, this is your time machine. You can go anywhere, anytime, any frame, whoever, whatever.
1962, and I would play all of the songs that the Beatles came up with and said that I made them.
That's a good one.
I probably would have gone back to like 2008 to like my what was I my 10-year-old self, and just gave myself a shit ton of Bitcoin.
Oh my god!
And then sell them now, because I don't really like cryptocurrency, but that would be I'd be loaded right now if I did that.
Yeah, I'd probably go. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Really, to the Live Aid concert that Queen put on would also be really cool to go back to.
Yes.
I watched it on TV.
That whole event. Yeah. I'd probably go specifically. I mean, there's so many. How do you pick one? But just for the sake of picking one, I'd probably pick 1973 Madison Square Garden, Led Zeppelin, when they filmed "Song Remains the Same" concert film. That would be incredible to be there.
Awesome. Yes. Did we hear everybody's? Did we get him in the back?
Where would you go?
Where would I go? Well, history teacher. This is ironic. I would probably go back to the probably ancient Rome at the time of Augustus.
Shit.
I'm a history teacher. What do you expect?
Well,
I mean, you're gonna go. My attitude is go for broke.
But I got a fun one if we want to go to another place. 1977, West Hollywood, California, Genesis Street, north of Sunset Boulevard, where a young director named John Carpenter and Deborah Hill were filming a little film called Halloween.
Oh, you got it.
I'd like to go back in time and make a really good personal friendship with some guy named Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe see if there's any really cool computer companies or software companies that he might want me to invest in, something like DOS.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness. They're all good answers. I love it.
Yeah, notice everything goes back to money. Money or one of the two.
So cool. So is there any stories that you would like to share? Anything that you have done at a show, or any odd things that happen to you, or any fans come up to you and ask you some odd questions?
We haven't quite experienced anything together yet. So maybe next time we're on your show, we can reapproach that question.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you after the Shillelagh's gig.
After we have a couple of gigs with two memories made.
I'm sure you'll have memories from those fans.
I'm sure we'll get some
Plenty.
stories for you. Don't worry.
I got plenty of stories from other bands.
Yeah, I'm sure, but
I figure let's be more fun. Let's build up some new stories.
let's make some memories with this band first, and then we'll share.
Absolutely. And you will definitely be back on the show. Absolutely.
Can't remember half the shit I've been.
Always welcome. We have another question from Teresa Rebel Heart. What has been the most valuable lesson you've learned from the music business?
Wow. Be careful who you trust.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Be open-minded, and you know, like I said before, you know, the more you say no, there's going to be someone that says yes, and you might end up
Absolutely.
Yes.
Glory is fleeting. Glory is fleeting. You could be doing great, and then not in that band, or one person could say the wrong thing, and the reputation of the band is ruined. It is just amazing how easy it is.
Take
To be 1% to be off, yeah. And that'll ruin everything. Yeah.
something that's definitely taught me is take yourself seriously, because if you don't take yourself seriously, then nobody's going to take you serious. So that's whether that's other bands, that's promoters, that's studio people, that's anybody. Yeah.
Anything you do in life, you're not willing to take yourself seriously and show that you are working to make preparation opportunity meet at the right time. Nobody's going to take you seriously, because especially music, there's so many bands out there.
Absolutely.
And it's not like it used to be where you could play out 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when you used to get crowds on Thursdays and Sundays. Yeah, and there's a lot more competition for your entertainment dollars. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of competition there. You just gotta keep going and keep striving forward and be the best that you can be. Yes. Follow your passion. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dream Raven, what's your favorite piece of equipment you own?
Wow. It's on the spot. Gee, Nick.
I get so much shit.
I wonder if there's a certain symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, while he's getting that, I'll go first while he's grabbing something. For me, I probably one of my amp heads that I use. It's a Marshall JVM 900. It's a tank. The thing sounds awesome. It's got real good, like late 70s, early 80s rock sound to it. It sounds awesome. And then, but on probably even more than that, more for a sentimental reason, was my first guitar. I still use it today. It's a 2005 Gibson SG, and I still use it. It's all beat up. It's all scraped and paint's chipping off, but it sounds better now than it did back then. And I hold it near and dear to my heart. So.
Oh, sentimental value. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would say my Spectre Dimensions bass or my Dingwall Combustion bass, one of the two.
Awesome.
I have so many to choose from. I mean, I'm a Les Paul guy. I got my 07 Standard that I use. I have my Taylor guitar that I'm using now, which is 214, which is amazing. I got my EDS 1275, so a lot of stuff. Gibson, a lot of Gibson.
It's got to be my cymbals, and thankfully I get to work with this wonderful cymbal brand TRX cymbals. I think it's flipped right now, but yeah, TRX brand cymbals. They are hand-hammered cymbals. They sound incredible. I love playing with them, and I love working with them. So TRS
Sweet.
for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Teresa from Rebel Heart has another question. What is the sweetest or scariest thing a fan has done to you or for you? Oh.
Got on a date the week after.
What was that?
Got on a date with me after the show. Like next week went out.
Was that the scary thing or the?
No, that was good. That was good.
Okay, good.
I took it as a compliment.
I guess the sweetest thing, someone's bought me a drink. I don't know. I don't really. People don't really do that. That's
Especially when you're the drummer or bassist. Now you're a singer. You're the lead singer, the guitar player. That's different. Drummer and bassist, people are like, yeah. If we get somebody to buy us a beer, we're happy.
most people don't even realize I'm on the stage half the time. So.
Or
It is what it is.
and my friend who's a singer in North Jersey, his wife was like, I don't understand bass. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, it only has 4 strings. I was like, yeah, and the one I use has 5. And she just was like perplexed. She's like, so that doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to have 6.
Oh.
Well, that's the life of a bass player.
Can't
Hold the
please
volume.
everybody.
I would say for me, it was definitely. I would say it's definitely the sweetest thing. Nothing scary about it, although it could have been scary. I don't know, you know. But it was sweet but strange because I didn't really know this person, but it was years ago, 2016. And I was playing, and it was a follower of mine, my band at the time, and came to every show. This guy, and he proceeded to offer me a ticket, which I didn't know him. I didn't know him on a personal level, but he said, "Hey man, I got an extra ticket for you to go see Guns N' Roses when they reunited with Slash and Duff on that tour, and at MetLife Stadium." And I was like, "Oh shit, I want to go. Great seats too, you know, free ticket." But I don't know this guy, you know what I mean? But it was very nice, and we went, and man, I ended up getting so baked in the parking lot, you know. But I had a great time. I almost missed the opener, which was Lenny Kravitz, but it was I made it in. But it was a great time. It was a very sweet gesture, very strange. Never saw him again after that show. So you're right there. Thank you.
It was a moment in time.
It was a moment, yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So back in 2015, my old band played a club called Blackthorn 51, and we opened up for Quiet Riot.
Nice.
At the time, one of the patrons was very, very unruly. And at the time, you know, just to show what a novice I was on guitar, I was using a Line 6 Spider 4 head. So I thought that sounded good. So I've grown up and I've learned since. But, you know, this guy was reaching over on the stage, and he was like, the Line 6 had this little quad pedal board, and he kept like pushing the volume pedal up on the thing, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, you motherfucker. So then I step on his foot, on his hand, and he sits there, he's like, ooh. I'm like, okay, like you're screwing around with my pedal board, like you're doing your thing, it is what it is, right? So keeps heckling me, starts throwing stuff at me and whatever, and I'm just like, okay, you want to be a part of the show, fine. So he says something, I throw it back at him. He gets all pissed off. Now here's where the juicy part comes in. Security was a little lax at this show, and right by the side of the stage are these little set of steps, and he goes storming, like literally like walking up the stairs. And I'm sitting there like, oh, is this guy about to get on stage? And I don't care what you say, unless you're invited on stage, that is sacred ground. You know, we are performing. We're here to do a job. We're here to do a lot of stuff. He literally got his foot, like, stepped onto the stage, and I literally Leonidas Spartan kicked him off of the stage and into the merch table. Under the mirror.
Yes,
Boom!
Oh my God.
And he goes, and I mean, he's been a little boo-boo faced ever since, but you know, it's a funny story. Moral of the story: rush the stage.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Common sense when you do that.
Actually, yes. Yeah, I had a similar incident like that. Not. We were playing in Queens. Back then, maybe 8-9 years ago. We were
Yeah.
playing at. It was actually like an underground place, so it was totally illegal, but it was a great time. Always packed, and people were getting really rowdy in there. There was no security at all, And we had a friend of my band's, this little lady. She was a little older, like 4'10", and she was up in front having a good time headbanging. And this motherfucker was so like drunk, and he was just out of control. He started headbanging like really close to us. There was no stage; it was just floor level. So he was
Okay.
headbanging. He kept knocking my mic. I was singing. He kept knocking my mic into my mouth, and he stepped on my pedals and all that shit. But then he knocks her down. He gets very violent and knocks this little lady down.
Oh
So he's
no.
coming up to me. He's coming up to me then, and he's very close to knocking the mic again. And I'm in the. I think we were in the middle of covering Ace of Spades at that time.
Yeah.
So we're in the solo, and I'm still going with the solo with my neck hand, and with my right hand I just knock him on his ass while we're playing the song, and we just go right back into it. We got the biggest applause. It was great. I don't condone violence, but you knock down a woman, we're gonna beat the shit out of you. You know what I mean? So, and he got his ass dragged out. It was great. So that's probably a little scary.
He deserved that. Yeah, you don't push a little girl woman like that. Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Well, he deserved it. Yes. Oh, Lordy. So, is there anything else you want to discuss or bring up or say to your fans?
Next week, March 6th, Katie's of Smithtown, our first show. Come on out if you're in the Long Island area, Nassau or Suffolk, or if you want to drive in from New York City or Connecticut, we don't discriminate. Come on out. It's a free show.
If you want to fly from California,
If you want to fly from California, just make sure you book. Book your tickets in advance. Check Google Flight. Make sure you're getting a good deal. April 13th, Shillelagh Tavern again, doing acoustic, trying some new stuff out, so yeah, and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/RyderBandNY, on Instagram, Ryder_NY, YouTube, Ryder Band, all over the place. Check us out, and
Awesome.
yeah, buy our shit. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So I noticed you have joined teams with a race car.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
We won't be doing any driving though. But.
Oh, okay. So how did that come about? What's going on there?
So shout out to Casey Brooks from Locked and Loaded Ventures up in Rochester, New York. His buddy Ryan Lagoda, he's worked on his pit crew since he started. Ryan is a wonderful driver. He is the driver of the number 92 Chevy Cornerstone Chevy supercar. So it's really, really awesome. And this has been in the works for a bit. We kind of hit some snags a few years ago with it. And, once things started getting back together, we repaired a lot of relationships, and thankfully Casey and Ryan were two of the bridges that we ended up rebuilding, and it was pretty awesome. For God's sakes, we're called Ryder. How could you not?
It fits exactly. It's perfect.
It's really awesome, and it's like it's wonderful racing. He's racing in the New York Stocks and the what the fuck is the other one? Race of Champions, the one at Spencer Speedway in Rochester, and New York Stocks is at the Lancaster Speedway. So if you're in the greater New York area, definitely check him out. Race season starts on May 5th. He is the official race car of the band. You'll definitely catch us at a few races. So
I love that. Very cool. Very cool. Keeping it positive, keeping it in what do you call it? Entertaining. I love this. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we have captured everything we needed to say. I'm going to cut you guys, let you go and finish the rest of your night and do what you need to do. And is there anything else you want to talk about? Or you said about your gigs coming up, and we said that too. So, but I appreciate you guys coming to Front Row Promotions, and you definitely,
Awesome.
you're welcome. And you're more than welcome to post anything on Front Row Promotions, and you're more than welcome to come back anytime. And I definitely want to hear more about your acoustic gigs, and I want to hear how that went.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. Blast.
And you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. If you hang tight, and I'll come back to you after I say goodbye. So, all righty. So, yes. Thank you for coming to Front Row Promotions. Thank you all for asking questions. And we also like for you to keep supporting that live local music in the making, and music everywhere. Again, we have been watching and talking to Ryder. Amazing band. Go check them out at the name of the place again. Ryder.
Facebook.com. For the shows or social media?
Fill all the socials, and then where you're going to play it one more time.
All right. Facebook.com/RyderBandNY. Instagram, Ryder_NY. YouTube at Ryder Band. Check us out on March the 6th at Katie's in Smithtown, New York, Long Island. First show, and then April 13th, Shillelagh Tavern. We're doing a full acoustic headlining set, so come on down. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. I wish I can be in New York at that time to see your band, but I'm sure, would you ever be traveling to Baltimore anytime soon?
Sure, we'll be there.
We'd love to do it.
Absolutely. We have plenty of venues, nice venues down here, so I can hook you up.
Awesome.
Nice.
Absolutely. And I'll send that to you. Keep you in touch with all those venues.
Hell yeah.
That'd be great.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Ryder. Thank you again. And thank you all for watching Front Row Promotions. Bye now.